We are live.
We are live, you fucking
in more ways
fruit
than one.
cups.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, we were talking about
A lot.
a lot of stuff, but the first thing I want to bring to your attention is we obviously know when we were born, but we don't know how.
You know what? You don't remember crawling out of your mom's vagina?
Unfortunately, no, I don't. But do you know how you're gonna die, or how do you predict you're gonna die?
I don't. No, I don't. I can think of.
Give me a couple things.
No, like if I really wanted to figure out the most likely things to happen, I would do one of those medical tests.
Yeah.
That predicts like your high risk for whatever, and then I'd just be like, okay, well, it's gonna be one of these. I have never done one of those. Do you know what I'm talking about when I mention these?
Yeah, you're talking about like a 23andMe, and it would say like how you would be dying, or how like of the possibilities of you being able to die.
Like, what are you most at risk for? Is heart disease? What?
But like, yo,
There
I'm
are
telling you
other
right
ones.
now, 98% of people on that thing says heart disease. Like, most people will say heart. I did 23andMe, and that's where I found out I was fucking more Egyptian than Turkish. Apparently,
Bet. Do you have it? Show me.
I have it somewhere.
I showed you mine. You don't show me yours?
You never showed me yours.
Yeah, I have.
You've never
bro.
showed me
I showed
yours.
you how Indian I am.
No, you've never showed me yours.
I'm
bro.
not kidding, bro. Look, I'll show you right now.
You're Indian?
Like indigenous. I always say Indian, but it's not. It's not actually true.
Sir, how dare you?
Yeah, I'm. Because I wanted to see the breakup of how. Here's my DNA story.
So
There I am.
I'm reading my boy's DNA story. I'm going to just tell you guys. Indonesian and Bolivian and Peru, 61%. Spain, damn, doggy. He's high-class pick, 23%.
Mm-hmm.
Basque, that sounds like a fish.
That's in Spain. That's in Spain.
That sounds like a fish. Levant,
That's also in Spain.
that sounds like
sorry. That's I think in like Lebanon is where that is.
somebody got fucked by a Senegalese.
Oh, bro,
Okay.
100%. I got.
Somebody got fucked by a Senegalese.
That's why I got that long.
Somebody
dick syndrome.
also got fucked by an Eastern Central Nigerian.
Yeah, some of that. Anything you see
Fuck
that's
me.
2% or under, I ignore it.
Sardinia.
I ignore
You also
all that.
got fucked by a Sardinian.
I ignore anything that's under 2%.
Okay. What else? What else?
You can actually see the breakdown
Tree.
from your parents. So you can see that my mom has more Spanish blood in her than my dad.
Just a bunch of zoo niggas over here,
Which
bro.
actually makes sense because if you look at my parents, you're like, yo, one of you guys looks more white than the other. Did you find
Yeah.
the thing where it's like broken up, the two pie charts?
You know, you have a Jonathan Delphin, who's your cousin.
Oh, yeah, supposedly there's like some third cousins out in the States.
Amber Rossetti.
Although what is fucked up, okay, I'll tell you this because I found out about this maybe. I
Bro,
wanna
can
say
you
a
fuck
year
your
ago.
fifth cousin?
Of course, that's not even a real cousin at that point.
So we could go look up Ariana Dongo,
Oh,
fourth
for
cousin.
sure, for sure. But here's what's crazy. So I don't know if 23andMe is similar. They probably are. But Ancestry has always been known for, like, before they did the DNA tests, they were known for finding, like, your family tree, like, around
Right.
where you were. So what they actually have is kind of fucked up because they actually have access to birth records and obituaries and, like, death records. So I don't pay for that service anymore because it's extra. You need extra to get, like, real records.
Yeah.
But they've sent me emails like, hey, we have this record. Do you want to see it? Bro, they have my birth record because I can see the date. I can see where it's from.
Mhm.
And then the one that fucks me up a lot is my grandfather's obit is supposedly there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck is that possible? Because as far as I'm aware, he's never set foot
Step foot here.
in the States.
Yeah.
But they have the timing of his death correct. It's 2013.
Somebody got paid. Son.
So what I'm thinking.
Somebody got paid.
I'm gonna pay for this at some point because I'm thinking maybe he did step foot in the States and nobody in my family knew.
Bum bum bum.
Like that. These are the things that people pay for. People pay Ancestry back in the day to find out these crazy family secrets.
I thought you were gonna say these are the things I jerk off to.
Bro, you're talking about my fucking late grandfather.
What
man.
do you
Come
mean?
on.
Listen.
Well, come on.
Listen,
man.
let
That's Don Lorenzo, my guy.
Let me tell you one thing, okay? If I found out that my great great grandfather was in America, I'd be jerking off to that idea because now I am for sure better than most people here, right? Because my great great grandfather was here, how many of these fucking immigrants their great grandfather was here? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm
fair enough.
instantly
Yeah.
better than you. I am better than you. Okay, that's what it goes down to. I was here first, bro.
Check this out real quick, and then we can like move on. You can see my mom's breakdown and my dad's breakdown. Look how much more Spanish blood she has in her. She's on the left. You can just see by the pie chart.
Wow.
That's like significant. That's at least 3 times as much Spanish
Yeah.
blood in my mom than in
I mean,
my dad.
probably like better Spanish dick on that side. You know what I mean? Just more powerful Spanish cock on the one side.
Yeah, I guess, man.
But I mean, that's the only way, right? You got powerful Spanish cock, then you're just fucking busting nuts, right? Then you're gonna imprint more. That's what it goes down to.
Yeah, no, but it's crazy. Like when I saw that, because I figured it was something like that, but when I
Somebody's
saw it,
busting
I
nuts.
was like, yo,
High nut bust volume.
conquistadors really like my mom's side of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Savage. So you don't know how you're gonna die. You think you're just presumption.
No, presumption is obviously it's probably gonna be some medical thing based on my lineage,
Yeah,
my family.
for sure.
It's interesting because my dad's side of the family has pretty good longevity.
Yeah,
My grandfather died at 95.
yeah.
My grandmother's 88 and still kicking it pretty good.
Oh yeah, there
But
you go.
my mom's
98.
no, she's 88.
Hmm.
88. But my mom's side of the family fucked.
Yeah.
Like, her mom died.
It's that extra Spanish cock.
I'm telling you, man, because
That's what it is.
her mom died at like 44.
You gotta pay homage to the lisp.
and then to
Spaniard
the
lisp.
Spanish lisp. And my grandfather, my mom's side, died when he was like 60 something. So
Yeah.
that side of the family has not good mortality rates.
I only have one bad grandma that died
Oh,
very early.
Bro, my uncle died a few years ago.
How was he?
He wasn't old at all. He's like high 50s,
Hmm.
early 60s. He had some fucking like okay, do you know what freons are?
No.
It's like almost like mad cow disease is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It fucks your brain.
What did he do? Some kite runner shit?
I honestly have no idea how the fuck this
All due
happened.
respect, but your your uncle probably fucked a
And
goat
honestly,
or some
like
shit.
no idea. But anyways, so it's really not looking good on my mom's. And the more I think about it, I'm like, oh damn.
I would go up to your mom if I was you and I was close to my mom. I'd go up to my mom and be like, "Yo, is that your uncle from your mom's side?"
Yeah.
I'd just be like, "Yo, was this uncle like whatever his name is?" Be like,
The
"Yo,
thing
was he
is,
fucking horses?"
she'd
and
never
shit?
be able to know because he moved to Brazil when he was really young.
Oh, he's definitely fucking horses.
So he fucked
This guy's
off.
fucking
He
camels,
never-
horses, multicultural, multi-species
He never
fuckery.
kept in touch with the family. Like once he left Bolivia, he just fucked off.
Why do you think he wasn't? He was just fucking mad horses, bro.
But horse fucking's legal in Bolivia. Why wouldn't that just?
Who
do it there?
said this?
What do you mean, bro? Bolivia.
Is it actually?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, you don't know?
It's like Colombia. Colombia's horse fucking's real. There's I don't know if it was My Strange Love or some fucking weird documentary, but there was a camera crew who stumbled upon a Colombian village
Yeah.
out in fucking nowhere where teenage boys
Yeah.
would practice on donkeys before getting with girls.
Teenage what?
Teenage boys.
Would practice on donkeys before getting with girls.
Yeah, they would find themselves a nice donkey.
Whose smart fucking
with a
idea
nice-
was it?
With a nice
Hey,
ass.
let's have a quick class gathering, guys. Starting tomorrow, Principal Vaughn has told us that now we can practice on live donkeys for sex ed.
I promise this won't take more than 2. I'm gonna search it up on YouTube real quick for like 2 minutes.
Don't,
So you can see
don't.
It. Yeah, come on.
Don't.
Come on, be
I
a
don't want to
pussy.
get these.
Come
I
on.
just took the blocker off. Please don't.
I'll do it incognito.
Please
incognito.
don't.
Incognito.
Oh
incognito.
my god!
Incognito.
I'm gonna get some weird
no,
gay
it's
porn
incognito, bro.
that you low key watched while you
All right,
fucking.
I gotta go on YouTube. 'cause
Oh my
otherwise you get some
god!
fucked up shit. It's
you
incognito,
filthy
bro.
animal.
All right, Columbia Village.
Oh my god! Look at this search. Donkey fucking.
Donkey sex.
Oh my god!
It's Vice. It was a
It's a
Vice doc.
Do you remember I
There it
told
is.
you? Do you remember a
Yeah,
long
he
time
said
ago?
Peru. He said Peru. It's
I
not
said,
Peru.
well, dude, close
Uh,
fucking enough.
That's like saying fucking Iran and fucking Pakistan.
That's pretty close.
You think so?
Oh, buddy, that's one alleyway away. My friend, you went
But,
left when you should have went right,
anyways,
and you end up
No,
in
but
Pakistan.
your thing wasn't donkey fucking. Your thing was slapping an ass. It was some weird, stupid.
No, it was similar. It was
No,
an
no.
analogy
No,
for donkey
no, it's
fucking.
not similar
I
at all.
already knew you guys did
This
some
is-
kite runner shit.
This is literally like
You guys are the equivalent of Afghans in South America, basically.
the Colombians were. Are.
Which is, I mean,
It's not.
You
It's like
are
2 countries
right?
away, bro. It's pretty far away.
Close enough. That's even closer than Pakistan. If I can say Pakistan is close enough to me, man, if you see my dad, I guarantee
Yo,
you would say
the
that.
Grand Tour? What the fuck? You know Jeremy Clarkson, right? From
Of
Top Gear?
course.
They did a fucking segment on this shit too. Jesus.
Donkey fucking?
Yeah, they went because they were driving through
Oh,
South
Lord.
America, I guess.
That's fucking nuts.
So yeah, here's the Vice document. Oh,
I don't want to watch this, bro.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to watch this.
Oh, you have to sign in. Good thing you did.
I don't
You
wanna
just got
watch this.
saved. You got saved by. No, they never. They don't fucking show. What are you? They don't fucking show it, dude.
Vice be
That's
weird like that.
fucking
Vice be
illegal.
weird like that.
That's fucking
Vice be
illegal.
like filming people getting like fucking graped and then be like, how do you feel
The
afterwards?
closest thing you'll see is that you'll see a guy because it's what's fucked up is that these boys, I said they practice. They'll actually keep like donkey girlfriends. It's fucked up,
Bro,
It's fucked up.
listen, they need freedom.
And
Okay.
no, that's what's crazy. They still have wives, but it's so normal in this village to also have themselves like a donkey.
Let me tell you a story about
wait,
ancient Greek.
It's a donkey side piece, is what
Okay.
it is. I'm not kidding.
Yo, check out that girl. You like her?
Legit.
Ooh, there's only 2 donkeys
the
there.
girls-
Yeah, man. They're both my side piece donkeys.
The girls accept this. Like the women in the relationships here
Yeah.
accept this as part of just
Genocide.
normal life.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Fucking brutal, dog.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So, what we learned today was that in Colombia they fuck donkeys and have side piece donkeys. Okay, so
Not
if you're joining,
all of Colombia.
if you're
Let's
joining
take
the
it fucking
podcast
easy.
now, when you
Let's
go to
take it easy.
Colombia, be careful about these side piece donkeys you might
Through
hit
the
on.
villages, like
You
the
might
fucked
hit
up
on,
villages, yeah.
and that might be someone's fucking side piece. So be careful approaching donkeys in Colombia.
Yeah, sure. That's actually not bad. Okay, that's a good one.
So in ancient Greece, they used to have name a fucking famous philosopher in ancient Greece.
I
They
know
were
where you're going with this.
all
I know where you're going with this
pedos.
because I read about
All
this.
right. So they used to have speaking of side pieces,
We
they
talked
used to
about
have
this actually. I explained this to you.
they used to have little boy side pieces. And as soon as the little boys hit about 15, they would re-up on the side piece.
There were certain conditions to this, so it's not as
Tight buttholes
Straightforward.
was the
No,
number
no,
one
no, no.
condition. I remember
No.
you telling me.
no.
And
Definitely
you were
not.
you were telling
Definitely
me the
not.
circumference of the butthole
No,
needed
I
to
did
be
not
less
tell
than
you any
2
of
inches
that. That's
because
cap.
Greek
All
people
of
had
that-
small dicks.
All of that is cap.
No.
because it's on a fucking podcast episode. I'll fucking dig it up and post it in this fucking video here for the link.
Sir, that's gone.
Oh yeah,
Give me that
one's
vape.
gone.
Give me that
one's
vape.
gone. The condition was that there had to be a mentor protege relationship, which to some people could be even more fucked up, and to some people it could be less fucked up. So in a way, there was an established relationship already between the men and the boys. There was never just like a hey, there's that random kid I want to like whatever. No, that wasn't like that was frowned upon. So they had really interesting like customs regarding this. As fucked up as we view it now, if you look into this, philosophers,
Yeah.
Politicians,
Yeah.
they would be mentoring a kid.
Couple of kiddies.
And no, usually no, that's a thing. It was always like a one-to-one relationship. So it was part of your mentorship is that you would also, you know what I mean?
Suck
So,
dick on the side.
basically,
I mean, I don't know how those guys did it. How they did it in such popularity is my question. But the next thing I want to ask you is what is one problem you haven't predicted that is a major issue in your life right now as a 29-year-old?
oh, that's a very interesting one. That's not bad. So you're saying that one that I just haven't thought of that all of a sudden is now an issue for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally as logical men, you can kind of see yourself. If you can step outside yourself, which is hard, but if you get to that maturity level, you can step outside yourself and see where you went wrong at certain times. I mean, at least I can. So there's certain problems that I kind of saw coming at like 15, 16, 17, 20, let's say. And there's certain problems that kind of just came out of the blue that I never thought that was going to be an issue that now I either dealt with or I'm still dealing with or whatever the case may be. What is the biggest one for you?
Well, that's an interesting one because this almost goes back to what we talked about with Julian and Shahab, right? Because part of that question, some people could view it as, what do you regret?
Yeah.
What do you regret currently, or what have you regretted in the past?
Not necessarily you regret, but it's something that you're just dealing
that's
with.
a mistake or like a problem. And
It's an oversight.
because you're saying, how could I have managed it differently? And so there, some people could read into that as saying there's a little bit of a regret there because you're like, oh, I wish if only I did this differently or did that better. So it's an interesting question because part of me says, well, I'm really happy where I am right now, so I can't really regret what it took for me to get here. However, the other part of me is like, well, there's always going to be part of me that wants to improve in basically most aspects of my life.
I think you're making this too general when the question was too specific. Let me give you an
No,
example.
that's not right. Because
Let me give you an example.
No,
it's not for argument. I'm just saying my intentions were different. My intentions were something like this. For example, when did you think you were going to get married? When you were 20 years old.
Mhm.
Give me a number.
I never had a number.
Okay, let's say 25, 30.
Sure.
Okay, and now you're past that age, for example, let's say, and you haven't got to that. So that specific thing, of course, there's obviously endless amounts of, in anybody's life, I would say there's endless amounts of extra preparation that could have got you to a better point, to be more ready physically, mentally, financially, whatever the case may be. But that's a very general context. For me, I never thought that I was going to be a 29-year-old going to school with 20-year-olds. And that's not what I thought was going to happen at 28 years old. That's probably one of the biggest things that I didn't see coming, even though in my early 20s, I would have been like, fuck, man, I want to be done with school. Now I think I'm one of the people in our generation, in our age group, that welcome school more than most people. I'm happy to pay that extra $1,200 per course, whatever, and it's keep rising.
Yeah.
Right. I'm happy to do that because I know where it's going to land me eventually, with the type of lifestyle. But again, it's put me behind in certain contexts and certain, frames of work and certain lifestyle choices. Right.
Mm-hmm.
A big commitment to take over is, hey, I'm going to study 15 hours a week extra and I'm going to go to school and do a course a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes away from a lot of things you could be doing. That's why there's lots of people in our age group that travel a lot more than me. So this is an example of what I would say would be answering my question. Do you know what I mean? Because at any point I could say, hey, man, fuck, I could be fucking doing 10 other things better than I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't come to the actual biggest problem that I never saw coming.
Interesting way of reframing your question. I mean, I partially agree with
Switch on to you.
What you were saying, but yeah, that's an interesting one. There's a couple of things that come to mind. One is definitely if I made the changes that I made within the last year sooner, like years sooner,
yeah,
I could see myself being in a better place now.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I don't sweat that too much. The other one that's more interesting is the relationship, but more like the child one. So, and we've talked about something similar in the past where we've talked about as we get closer to the age that our parents were when they had us, there's like a shift in the relationship between us and our parents, right? Because as you get, let's say if your parents had you at 30, for example, as you get closer to 30, you get to that point where you're going to be the same age that your parents had you. So when they start seeing you, they're going to start seeing a past version of themselves that they can relate to a lot. Because when they had kids, that's like a
milestone.
It's like when you're reading a book, that's a bookmark in a book, right?
Doing that. Milestone for sure.
So I'm now getting to the age where
your parents had you.
Not only that, but I'm starting to feel like I don't want to call it like a pressure, but a sense of urgency now to deliver on some of the things that I thought I wanted earlier, but now I'm realizing I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. If I keep pushing this out, it's going to feel strange where I don't want to make my parents grandparents when they're fucking 70. Right? I want my parents to be limber and like I want them to enjoy the feeling of having grandkids and being able to chase them around, being able to like do grandparent things. So I'm now getting to that point where I'm like, okay, that's starting to become more of a like that's more at the forefront of my mind than it used to be. And so I see that as like something that I wouldn't call it like a problem, but definitely something that's like, okay, think about how you're going to be approaching situations where you can be working towards that.
I want to take this on a tangent. One of the reasons I'm not really up with this new woke movement.
Sure.
But I understand why people are turning more into socialism.
Okay.
The reason I say this is because when our parents were our age, the reason they were ahead was because, one, there was no social media buffer. Because social media, what it does is it buffers you from, one of the things it does, it buffers you from mental clarity that as a byproduct turns into lifestyle maturity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of stops you. You see a lot of patterns of 30-year-olds that act like 20-year-olds due to other role models of them acting the same. But another case for this outrage of woke movement that wants socialism is because our parents, when they were our age, they could financially afford more things that made a stable environment for kids.
Do you think that?
I know that.
Because I don't.
Okay. Maybe in your predicament of your parents' trials and tribulations trying to come to Canada and the possible history of your country may be different.
When did your parents come over here? How old were they?
They were in their late 40s.
Okay. Did they come with money?
No.
So then they were worse off than you are now.
No.
Why not?
I'm not comparing them when they came over here to me. I'm comparing for example, a 29-year-old me versus a 29-year-old version of my father or mother.
Yeah. Because that's where it's very different for us, because when my parents came over, they're essentially our age now. They were around 29, 30 when they came
Your parents.
Here. Yes.
So that's why I went on that whole thing about
that makes sense.
the predicaments of your parents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll paint you a picture of where my parents were. My mom had 2 villas and a big, we're talking multiplex apartment.
Yeah, your parents were way better off.
What does that mean? What's
back home?
What's a multiplex? A multiplex is a whole full apartment, so a low rise per se. Yeah. But one of these low rises that kind of accumulates the same version of something in Manhattan, where you have a connecting apartment, but in a whole building, there's only 4 apartments. So each apartment's about 2,500 square feet. So this is a luxury apartment.
Yeah.
This is nothing like, us, we could afford here.
Yeah.
This would be in the millions here. They had my sister at 29. My mom was a doctor with 2 clinics. And my dad was in like basically investment banking in certain ways, but in his own sector, which was like industrial equipment.
Right.
Now, if, the amount of, I make good money. I think I'm in the top 10% of our age group.
Much higher. We've gone over this.
Yeah.
Much higher than 10%.
Let's say 5%, whatever the case may be. However, because of commodity prices, real estate prices, things like this, my own, disregard to real estate and whatever the case may be. Well, I know what the case is, but aside from that, it's not as easy for me to afford those things. Now, if in relation, the money that I was making in comparison to the possible expenses that I have currently were the same relation as my parents when they were 29, I'm telling you right now, I'd be able to afford what a millionaire affords. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that would set me up in order for me to have a lifestyle where I'm not going to school. I don't have, a business and two other jobs to have, and, all these commitments that take away from the fact of me trying to raise a kid and find a mother for that kid and so on and so forth, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
I know,
like
but that's just kind of like a funny
backwards,
comment.
yeah, it's like, backwards. How do you have a kid and then find the mother afterwards? You fucking retard. I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is this: is that because kids these days can afford even less than I can, significantly less, it makes them not trust the government, because it's saying, hey, in relation to when my parents and my grandparents, when they were my age, I can't afford the same. So somewhere along the lines, you've went wrong in inflation and deflation and moving the society and the generation in a way where it is more habitable, whereas it's making it significantly worse. I mean, there's probably hundreds of people I've heard from 2020, close friends of mine, even people I know, randomly saying somewhere along the lines of it's unlivable here with the expenses. I was looking up, an apartment I was looking up that's again for sale, and this was for sale in COVID, like the best time in COVID where prices were, interest rates were pretty low and stuff. The price is significantly higher, but the interest rates is also higher.
During COVID?
No, in comparison to COVID.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So if it was 800 in COVID, it's now 1.2. If interest rates were 1.8,
now they're 4.
Now it's 5.
Yeah.
5.25, depending on OAC, right? So that's what it is. We have a little invite here with.
Oh no, that's TikTok telling you to. I don't think that's a real invite.
Why?
Because TikTok will suggest you to
invite people.
Yeah.
No, they actually want to invite.
All right.
I said no.
Okay. Sick.
So yeah, I think that's the only position I take for the woke culture. So LGBTQ stuff like this. I get why you're mad because you can't afford shit. If you could afford stuff, like if everybody our age can afford a yacht.
Why would you be fucking mad?
Why would you? What is there to be mad at?
What are you complaining about?
If every guy in the world was smashing cakes left and right, there'd be no war. There'd be nothing, right? And this is why they make it harder. So you know how they deal with inflation, right? So they lower commodity prices by making more people unemployed. So not as much demand because not as much people can afford it.
Sure.
So that makes commodity prices go down because the demand isn't as high and the supply keeps getting higher. That's fucking ridiculous. That's so you like there was a guy who was trying to run numbers. Interest rates in the States are 6.4%.
Yep.
If interest rates are 0, unemployment rate's at 2.2%. That's the ratio throughout history.
Okay.
So it's a minus 2.2. So you're in a deficit of 2.2% of people being unemployed when interest rates are at 0. Do the math on 6%. How many percentage of people have to be unemployed for that 6% to slowly start going down? In a ratio-wise during history, you're looking at 12%. 12% of an employment rate in order for that 6% to go down. Can you imagine 1 out of 10 people or higher? 12 people out of 100 people have to be unemployed.
No, we've never seen. I don't want to say never, but
we've never seen that. We've never seen.
Recession got as high as 8%, I think.
We've never seen 12% unemployment. We've never seen it.
I think the highest.
The idea that
Great Depression was the highest. That was in double digits.
The idea that they're trying to proclaim is that this does not go in a linear fashion. So this does not go 6 times 2, 12%. It's not doesn't lean out like that. But who are you to say? What guarantee do I have on paper? You know what I mean? We haven't seen too many of these kinds of recessions where it's a demand recession. It's not the fact that people don't have money. People have money. They're just the demand's too high for the supply.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
This is a weird one.
It's not a.
It's not an original.
Like a deflationary. No. It's an inflationary recession, which is fucking strange, because normally you'll see the opposite makes sense.
Yeah.
If people start spending less, if everything starts going down, then you're in a fucking recession. But if everything's going up, prices are going up, stocks going up, people making more money, you're like, why the fuck would you be in a recession? So what's happening right now? I guess now we're segueing real quick into what the fuck's happening with the banks. So this one's fucking weird. These runs at the banks that you're starting to see, and I'm not a fucking doomsday kind of guy, but it's interesting to see some of these larger institutions. Now we got word this weekend that Credit Suisse is getting bought out that.
Light it.
Yeah, it'll have to be now because then I gotta fucking bounce.
All right, let's do it.
Fuck. Oh, that's the thing.
Give me the lighter.
That's your cue to get the fucking papers out.
No, man, that's only 10:20. It's that black chick that. Give me that lighter. Where's the things? You smelt it.
Smelt it, you dealt it. Fuck, I was hoping this is passed out.
All right, you got the ashtrays over there. Pass an ashtray for me. Pass an ashtray for you. It's on the computer there. Oh, you fucking fuck. What a rook move.
Oh, you fucking fuck. Where are they?
Dude, you got to move faster. It's on the computer.
Oh, yeah. I was looking for the tray. Do you not have that anymore?
I have it.
All right.
It's in the 6 deposit box.
Here.
Pass my joint.
Fuck, dude.
So, guys, this is 3 months coming to this point. Past 3 months.
No,
When did we start
it's not
this?
passed.
Why? It's March.
I'll fucking tell you when it is. We have it in a fucking note. January 23rd.
And just like that, it's a mazal.
It's barely been fucking 2 months.
It's a big deal. 60 days, boys.
It's not even
It's a
3 months,
mazal!
motherfucker. Better not relapse after this shit. Still got another fucking month.
How did you call that? Never agreed to this.
You're the one who said 3 fucking months.
We're going to chill for a week. No, we're going to chill till end of March.
That's what fucking addicts say, bro.
No. What we're going to do is we're going to chill till end of March, which is 2 weeks. What's the date today? 19th?
I'm not chilling. You can fucking chill if you want. I basically had like a self-induced fucking chill the last fucking 2 weeks. Tried my hardest to keep with what I had to do, but it's hard when you're fucking traveling.
When you travel, how many hours do you work?
We've been over this. Man.
8 till 7?
We've been over this shit.
Do you actually work that much?
I've told you we've been over this, so it's like, what the fuck do you consider work, man? It's such a dumb question because like it's not for someone who
Because
trades.
the way they described it to me
Yeah.
was like, okay, you're going to have like 5 hours of work when you travel.
I'll tell you this much: when I used to travel for my previous guys, yeah, because it was road traveling. It's different. I wasn't actually traveling anywhere. I was going to, all over the valley,
Yeah.
and that's like 5 hours work. But now we're talking about you when you fly somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be in that location if you weren't being paid for it. You know what I mean? So how do you factor that in? Like, would you be in fucking Regina if someone didn't pay you for it? No. So how much of that Regina time are you considering as work?
A lot.
Yeah, so that's where it gets.
Have you ever had a girl press you on coming over?
Yeah, it's like a red flag for me.
Why?
How well do you know this person?
Met him today.
That's a huge fucking red flag. Jesus Christ.
This is why I'm so suspect. I'm like, why the fuck? I've never met a girl so desperate.
Shit works both ways. Desperation. Like, girls are suspect of it. We're suspect of it too. You know what I'm saying?
But it's common for a guy to be desperate. Because you have to succeed so high to be.
It's also common for
one of the
girls to have
10%.
that as a red flag when they see it in guys. I'm not saying all guys aren't, but when you show that, when you're actively wreaking desperation, as they say.
As I get older, though, it's like significantly easier to say no to girls.
Sounds about right. I mean, that comes with age and experience.
How do you find this joint? It's a beautiful fucking joint, in my opinion. Like, I taste the resin.
Hope it doesn't. Yeah, I was gonna say this thing's like it's very interesting. It's very. What are we fucking like? We're like sommeliers now with fucking. We're talking about the body of the wine, body of the weed. It's like, I'm getting notes of manure and.
Don't you ever in your life compare me to a gay retard.
I should hope that you have that much class, gay retard.
You're not
Talking about it here. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. What a shit throw.
What?
That's exclusively a throw from a gay retard.
You can get canceled. Or a bunch of bullshit.
Listen, if I get canceled,
We're
I made
fucking
it.
live, motherfucker.
If
Are you
I
gonna
get
say
canceled, I made it.
that? No, you haven't.
I made it. If I get canceled, I made it.
We're gonna get fucked up.
So, how many babies do you think Brian's gonna leave in Korea?
I think he's gonna fucking keep track of that shit.
It would be like, if I had to
Damn.
have some babies.
If you had to.
If I had
Is
to,
this
like,
not
if I had to leave
Is this
some
not
babies,
something that you want?
if I had to leave some babies in a country and bounce, I would exclusively want every single one of them to be Korean, half Korean. That'd be pretty sick. Like when you go back to Korea or some shit,
You have a reason to go back? Oh, I gotta see my kids.
you got 5 kids there.
Dude, 5? How much? Jesus, dude.
5
Fucking
kids.
Do they have child support in Korea?
Bro, you're a king if you're a father, especially if you're foreign.
No, but do they have child support?
They can't indict you into it.
What do you mean?
Well, they
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
indict divorce. They can't indict child support.
I think the child support. Are you sure? Check the child support one, man.
This is the thing with child support across the world. First of all, you have to be in the country. You have to be a resident. Okay?
I don't know if you have to be a resident.
You have to be a resident in a country to pay child support. This is why. Because child support and family court does not go outside the boundaries of the country. In any country.
All right, let's talk about the moral aspect of it. So you're just not. Gonna
I feel
support your
nothing.
Kid?
I
you're
feel
a
nothing.
fucking kid, bro.
I feel nothing.
Come on. I know you're.
This is why I don't feel nothing.
I know you're savage, but like, come on.
This is
It's
why I
your
don't feel nothing.
Fucking blood.
Listen, first of all, there's a good chance that I will never know that that's my kid.
All right.
And
Continue.
this is why I say this. One, because Koreans are proud people. They have a lot of pride. If a woman gets sexual with me while I'm on a trip and she gets pregnant, there's a good likelihood she's going to get an abortion, because giving birth to such child would be the
Giving
end.
birth to such a Neanderthal of a child.
Would be the end. Would be the end of this woman and her legacy and her lineage. Pretty much, she's failed as part of that community. She's failed in her Koreanness.
So why would you want to ruin this?
Listen,
That's what I'm
in
trying to
a
understand.
realistic world, the chances of this happening are slim to none.
Fair
Slim
enough.
to none. Specifically because of this, my ball sack are very responsible. They don't nut out when they're out of place.
Shut the
They
fuck
just don't.
up, dude.
Right? The doctor told me that
Shut
I
the
never need a
fuck up.
vasectomy because my balls are the most loyal balls in the world.
Because I have the lowest sperm count. You're like, wait a second. Fuck that up.
that'd be pretty accurate, probably with the trend and shit. But no,
Jesus.
I've had the curse of having terribly high sperm
Have
count,
you actually?
testosterone. It's so bad, bro. I've had 4 pregnancies.
You're one of the.
Yeah, I've had 4 not false pregnancies, but like I got the girl pregnant, but then we got we did some shit.
We did some shit. We just gave her a bunch of shots the next day.
Plan B out the system, bro. If the amount
You're
of
like one of those guys.
the amount
who-
of features of Plan B in my life that has come along, I could probably have a whole album.
You're one of those
about
guys
Plan
where
B.
the doc's like, actually, we need you to jerk off. Because there's too much in there.
We don't know which one to pick.
Like, you know, some people where their blood's too
Yeah,
thick
yeah.
and you got to donate blood every once in a while. Like, you have to. Same with you.
I actually I did that recently.
Did what? Donate blood?
Yeah.
How do they not reject your ass?
Why would they reject me?
Because you're fucking gay.
See, I need this Hector like 80% of the time, and I need long-winded Hector like 20% of the time. Because when you're thinking deep thoughts, you like to be very specific with your speech. But then what that does is, for editing purposes, every time you pause, I have to go back in there and cut the pause, because it's just too long between things. So then it just sounds like somebody naturally speaking. But
Oh, I see what you're saying.
when I let you, like before, that's why we had like 3-hour fucking podcasts is because Hector's fucking in between in between alphabets. The pause breaks were too much between the words. So the podcast would be like 45% longer.
Bro, that's why when you watch these YouTube videos, it's just a bunch of like cuts.
It's mad cuts.
Yeah, but that's part of the fucking territory with the editing, bro. Also, it's getting fucking hazy in here.
Dog, I mean, what did you think of this joint?
It was fucking good.
It was good, right? Now, if I want to tell you right now that you just smoked, are you done with it?
Almost.
Okay, you're almost done with a $13 half gram of a joint. That cost $13.
Pretty good.
Is it worth 13?
I don't know.
Would you say most things are better with luxury in comparison to how much extra you have to pay for them?
You want to know something?
What?
I bought myself a Swiss watch.
Let's see it. You got it?
No, I didn't bring it. I'll show it to you next.
Is it a Rolex?
No, what are you fucked in the head? Bro, even if I had 50 G's to float around, they're not letting me in the Rolex. Like, they're not gonna sell it to me. I was actually having a conversation with the guy who sold me the watch that I bought, and he's
how much was it?
Stack and a half.
Okay.
And the guy was telling me
what was the occasion? You just there? I should get it.
Good weekend at work. Saw some things coming that I didn't think were gonna come.
Let me buy a watch.
And I've also had my eye on this watch for years.
This is why we're friends. Like, listen, me and Dr. Evil, we were really good friends that kind of drifted apart. And it's because of stuff like this. Dr. Evil would never do this. And I'm a firm believer that you have to enjoy life.
I agree.
Especially in these small things.
Yeah,
Stack and a half, I mean, it's a good amount of money, but again, it's something you can make back.
Not only that, but it's a nice...
something nice for yourself.
Not only that, but I remember we talked about this with the car. It's like, you don't want to go full balls out, tits out, because then you won't be able to come back and enjoy getting there. You know what I mean? This is, I think you mentioned back when you had a Benz or whatever, you're like, it's good, but it's also kind of shit, because now you're like, I can't enjoy the mid-class cars anymore.
Yeah.
Because anything less is... So the same thing with this. Like, if I were to just jump into like Omega, which is like 10 grand.
Yeah.
If I get that, I'm not going to want to get like even like a 5 grand watch, because I'm like, fucking why?
Why?
So it's the same thing here. It's like, this is it's really nice.
Yeah.
Stack and a half, a fucking half,
yeah.
my guy, right? But it allows me to like play in this level and enjoy it for a bit before if I ever decided to like jump up and be like, all right, fuck it.
I'm an extremist with certain things. In certain things, I think they can be significantly one-time bought. For example, watch. I think you can, if you're very successful, you can buy 3 good watches in your life.
Agreed. Oh, your 3 watch collection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched those videos.
You know what I'm saying? I think you can only buy 3 watches, and this is why. I'm saying early adulthood, mid-adulthood, and late adulthood are the only times you can really buy yourself a watch. And I don't agree with buying another man a watch. I think every man should buy themselves a watch. I don't. The only time
special
I believe
occasions.
Not
I
even that.
believe it.
Not even
do.
that.
I do.
Maybe for
like
you.
Retirement. Like if you're retiring, like all right.
That's not gonna be one of the 3 watches though. That's the thing. The 3 watches is the timeline of your life. What it speaks to is you as a human being, you as a number in the universe, you as a formula. That's what it is. It's 3 phases of your life. That's what it means to me. So
fair enough. Okay.
For me, I don't think I'm gonna buy a watch until I get the watch that I need for like my 30s.
What do you think that's gonna be?
Audemars Piguet Rolok.
You're such a fucking retard sometimes when you speak. It's like, why even say words?
It's just the steel version.
This guy's literally never had like a fucking like watch more than like $50 in his life. And it's like, yeah, let's just add 3 zeros to that fucking number.
It's not 3 zeros. Come on.
50 G's. And
$50?
And 8. I said you've never had a watch more than $50.
Bro, come on.
And now you're just gonna add 3 zeros to that number, and I'd call it fucking 50 grand, and be like, yeah, that's gonna be the watch.
I've had like $500 watches.
Actually,
yeah,
that's okay, legit.
But nothing that I gave a fuck about. It's all in like a safety deposit box somewhere.
Why would you keep that in a fucking safety deposit box?
It's sentimental stuff I got from my
that's fair.
grandpa.
That's fair. Anything that
Stuff like
anything
that.
that you're given,
I got a ring from my mom.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's different.
what
No,
am I
no,
gonna do
no.
with
I
this?
thought these are things you bought for yourself.
No, a couple of guns, stuff I can't use.
Sentimental, huh? Yeah.
Those guns are now illegal, so you can't. What do you get? You
That's
either
true.
have to. What you have to do is you have to keep them as a piece of history, right? Just like they used to do with the 6-gauge shotgun back in the like
Just
1800s.
Just say that till you gave them. You already sold 'em.
Or you have to submit it to the government.
I had an interesting conversation. We'll come back to the watch thing quick because I'm curious about your thing. But I drove down from Toronto to Pennsylvania last week, right? And the last time I did it, I drove down some of my customers, and we got to talking. And you guys are all from the interior, from Penticton. And we talked about hunting because we're obviously in the area. And then we started talking about guns. And I was like, "Yo, so what do you think about this whole Trudeau and the government are gonna like restrict a bunch of like new weapons and all this shit? Like, what do you think?" And the shop manager's old guy, Ron, great guy, right? Mid-60s, been doing this for like 40 fucking years. Looks at me and he goes, "Really want to get into this?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to get into this. Like, tell me what the fuck."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dude," he didn't say dude, but he's like, "Man, if I could live in the States just for the guns, I would. But this fucking country's, USA's fucked, so forget it." But it's like, I'm firmly against so much of this. And he's like, "I'm a competition shooter. I hunt a lot. I have," and one of the guys behind is like, "Yeah, man, you should fucking see it. He's got a fucking arsenal." But at the end of all this, he's mentioned a bunch of other stuff. But he's like, "But for you guys' information, I sold all my guns, okay?"
Yeah.
Because he got these from before you actually have to register the handguns and all the other stuff. So he's grandfathered in. So that's why he's like, "But
He's
government-
grandfathered in. He doesn't have to worry
if
about
government
that.
ever asks, I sold all of them." All right.
But,
And we're like,
but
okay.
if he's grandfathered in, he's good.
No, but he's not. He is and he isn't. Because with some of these new things, they're
Like, you
going
have to submit.
Yeah, because the thing, he got grandfather for the handguns. That's fine. But some of the rifles that he has with this new gun acts that are going to happen, previously unrestricted weapons will now be restricted, which means you need to get them registered, which means you need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why he's going to be like, "Well, since they're not in the system because they're unregistered, I'm just going to, they're all sold."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right."
I mean, that's a small 5 to 10, but they usually never bust you for that unless they're looking for something else, and then they can't find that something else, and they bust you for that. What was the whole watch thing we're gonna go back to?
What were the occasions that you mentioned that you would receive a watch?
Oh, like from somebody.
Yeah.
The only time I would accept it and like live up to what they want is if it was something passed down lineage. Right, let's say I buy a Royal Oak, right? The reason I want to buy a Royal Oak is because I want my grandkid to wear that Royal Oak.
Yeah.
I don't want. That's why I don't want to buy like a Breitling, because I know it's probably not going to last as long, right? That's
will.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I just think that that's the kind of thing I want to go. So it's like I want to see that generation be there for that generation in order to pass this down. So it's not really about the watch. It's just a $50,000 watch is going to be in good quality in, 50 years, 40 years from now, right? When my kid's going to have a kid,
Yeah.
right? Versus like, a $5,000 watch. That aside, it has to be something worth something because it just shows my hard work. And this is why. I have to get married to somebody, have a kid, raise that kid in a way where somebody wants to get married to him. He has to have a kid. So he needs to be financially stable. So not only have I set myself up, but this kid, I set this kid up. And, you create a lineage. You create a tree for yourself. So it's like, it's a big deal. It's beyond the watch.
I got a very sideways question here. We might actually have to end it on this one because we're getting close on time here. How would you feel about your future kids watching this podcast?
Dad was a savage.
Like, if you can picture yourself, and it's so hard because you're thinking forward instead of back.
You have to really take a step outside yourself.
But if you're picturing yourself,
and we've done this
20 years from now, let's say 20 years from now,
I'd be embarrassed in certain accounts for sure.
No, but hold on. Think about what you'll be like in 50 years. Your
Yeah.
mentality, your presence,
Yeah.
how you act, how you conduct yourself.
50 years from now?
20 years from now.
20 years from now, okay.
It'll be 50. 20
Yeah.
years from now. Do you think having your children watch this podcast will affect how they see you in 20 years?
Hell yeah. Probably for sure.
Yeah.
The number one thing I could say would be like, they'd be like, Dad, why am I listening to what you're doing, what you're saying, when what you were doing at my age was significantly different?
Interesting.
And I would say because it was like, it was the jungle when I was growing up. It was different. There was no backbone to a family. It was just you yourself most of the time since you were 17. So it's like, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking why it's different. Otherwise, if nothing gets improved, then none of us improve. If you just keep doing what I did when I was fucking 17, then we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually retarded because everybody's improving, and then we're just sitting around. Oh yeah, stuck on this fucking idea that why is he doing that and I'm not doing this? It's because it's supposed to get better for you, kid.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. Go to your room and clean that shit up. Watch some Jordan Peterson, you pussy.
Oh my god.
But I would be rough. I don't think you'd hear a peep out of my kids.
Mm.
I think the number
no,
one
but
thing.
you wouldn't hear. But that's the thing, because they'll be just. They have the
Whatever they
want
to think in their head,
Yeah.
they're free to think in their head. But as long as they're in my house, they're gonna shut the fuck
That's
up and do what I say. That's the end of it. What do you think for you when your kids see you?
I think they'll have some questions.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck did you associate with this animal?
Mm.
And they'll have to explain to them, like, listen, sometimes you just gotta hang out with animals.
Yo, switch on to you while you're speaking this fucking trash, bro. this nonsense. Sometimes you gotta be with animals. Shut the.
It's true.
Shut the fuck
Sometimes
up.
you gotta surround yourself with a couple of fucking beasts. That's how it is. I think for the most part, I've been consistent enough in what I do, and I feel confident that they will understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it. So if they see me recording it when I'm 30 and they're like, oh, he was blah, blah, saying, they'll understand it. Because they're like, okay, we see how he is now. This makes sense. Him 20,
I think if they love you, they would understand it, right?
Yeah.
Because if they like you enough, they'll make a storyline in their head and a logic tree.
What I also mean is that, and I think for me, and I think to you too, to a degree, is that we're not acting out of character. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Just
even
yourself,
20 years later, yeah, but that's the thing. Some people put on a show for whatever it is that they do. Sometimes they'll put on like a character for a podcast, or they'll do whatever. And so when you look at it later, you're like, yo, that guy's acting like way out of character for what he really is.
Yeah.
Or like what we can see him being.
Yeah, we're genuine, I think. I
Yeah.
think we're genuine. I don't think I know. Because thinking that's not it. But this joint's hitting so heavy, dog. And I'm blanking. And
what
this is
happens.
why I realized I didn't want to smoke weed anymore. Was this blanking shit. Because 20 minutes ago I was making points and I was like surprising myself.
Are we now off the weed for good?
No, we're off the weed. I think honestly, I'm done. I'm done for another month at least.
So I'm gonna take this
What's
for safeguarding.
I mean, take whatever you want, dog. I don't give a fuck.
No, I'm doing this for you, buddy.
Okay, then let's blaze it. Let's
No,
blaze it if
bro,
we're
I
leaving
can't,
it.
man. I can't.
You can't?
I'm gonna get fucked. So.
Okay, give it to me. Give me one. Take one.
Okay.
This shit was good, huh?
That was pretty fucking.
This shit was fucking ridiculous. So you're not working, but you're going to the States tomorrow
Yeah,
for that.
early-
How?
Early tomorrow.
Now
Fully
let's
legit,
let's
bro.
make our quick bets on this, and then fucking I gotta get you to do some fucking legal paperwork.
Sure.
Uh,
Let's get the papers.
so the only thing I could ask you right now is how well, from what you think right now, will this stuff work for you? Do you think we don't have to say what it is?
No, sure.
But we just have to say success rate.
Based on what you've told me.
No, what you've done yourself.
No.
Well, based it on what I'm saying.
No, not what I'm. Well, in a way, I will be, because you've done you're doing some of the stuff that I'll be most likely doing. So, based on what it's done for you, I feel pretty good about it for myself, especially given my physiology and how I generally react to things. I generally react to things pretty well. Like, I'm not a very passive.
That was the most dorky shit I've ever heard you say. I generally react to things really fast.
No, I said really well.
Really well. That's even worse.
What do you mean? How's that worse?
The vowels are
Like when
more feminine.
When people take stuff.
Well.